Hello everyone, this is Nagesh. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we will discuss very common ServiceNow interview question and real-time issue. Let's say in interview, they asked, your GlideAjax call from client-side script times out frequently. What optimization strategies would you implement? This question is asked frequently for ServiceNow developer and other modules as well. So watch till end of the video. You will get complete understanding of how to optimize the glide record usage. Okay, so let's first understand the problem. A glide Ajax call times out when the server takes too much time to process the request, or the response data is too large, or the client script is waiting synchronously. Okay, so the client script is waiting synchronously. So whenever these three things happens, large data, large data, waiting synchronously, and if server takes too much time, so then the glide Ajax performance will be slow and we have to optimize. Okay, and also the performance of GlideAjax depends mainly on data size and server side processing time. Okay, so let's understand the first and most important optimization. Okay, so that is reduce the data returned from the script include. And I'm sure everybody knows here, if you want to use GlideAjax, you should have a script include, and then you can call that script include from client side by using GlideAjax. Okay, so first we have to optimize the script include about the data returned. So the bad practice of returning data is sometimes we return null records, returning large JSON objects, returning unnecessary fields which may not be required. Okay, so let me show you with the examples as well. So for example, here script include, let me go to script include. So this is a bad practice. For example, this method get user details. Okay, so we are sending complete glide record. This is a large data. So where it converts to JSON. So we want just a name or something or department. Okay, so just you can do the dot walking and give the department instead of returning entire record. Okay, so you should avoid this. And best practice is, so for example, you want to get a department. So you can see here record dot department converting into string, and we are returning it so that it will pass only one value. Okay, so remember, return whatever really required, and also most of the time try to return the less JSON, and also return simple values like true or false, small strings, limited JSON. Okay, so return what is required. Don't return complete record, complete information if it is not required. Okay, so these are the best practices you will have to follow. Return only what is required and use simple values. Okay, so let's understand optimization strategy 2, that is use asynchronous calls in GlideAjax. Always use asynchronous GlideAjax calls. So which means you will have to avoid using getXMLWait method. So this blocks the UI and increases the timeout risk. So let me show you. So for example, here in we have onChange client script and we are calling the script include So here you can see we have followed the best practice. We are using a getXML. We are using a getXML, not getXMLWait. So don't use getXMLWait. It's a synchronous call and it blocks the UI. Means until it completes the execution, user cannot perform anything. But if you use getXML, it will work in asynchronous, which means it executes in the background. User can continue other work. Okay, so this will reduce the slowness risk of the GlideAjax. All right. So the optimization, another technique is improve server-side logic. So when you are writing a glide record, okay, apply the avoid unnecessary loops, avoid query large tables without filters, use proper yard query conditions, and also if required, use set limit. Whenever possible, use set limit. Okay, heavy server logic equal to slow glide attacks. And optimization strategy 4 is using a scratch pad. So also I'm sure everyone who learned ServiceNow, they know about scratch pad. So if data is available already, don't use GlideAjax. Okay. So means in the form glide record in the record data is available, don't use glide record. So instead of that, use the scratch pad. So here, let's say in our form, we have to deal with the created by, means we are not, we don't have a created by on the form, but based on this value we have to tweak the, or we have to show some UI elements on the form. So in such cases, so we will bring the UI element, I mean you sorry created by using a display business rule, and then we are storing created name. So it's a scratchpad variable. Okay. So this scratchpad, remember, if you want to pass values from server side to client side, this is a one of the technique. Use the scratchpad and store. It's a dynamic. You can store values in it. Then you can utilize this scratchpad in client side. So let me show you how we have utilized. And here you can see. So we are making a field description mandatory, and where you can see comparing scratchpad that created by equal to admin. So we are making this. Okay. So like this, we have to take care of uh, I mean, if avoiding a glide attacks if data is available or one-time data transfer. Okay. So let's say be, as soon as form loads, you want to make some changes on the form based on a value. It's a one time. So where you can, before loading, you can capture that value, store it in a scratchpad, then use the scratchpad in client side, like in on load, on change, and you can manage it. And also strategy 5 is timeout and also error handling. Okay. So many developers forgot this. So handle empty responses. Okay, whenever sometimes empty also comes either through a scratchpad or script include, it returns a empty. So that we will have to handle. If empty, then you can throw some error message, and also null values as well. And handle timeout or error scenarios. Gracefully, you can address the error scenarios. So this avoids script failures, poor user experience, and also console errors. Okay. All right. So remember, let's quickly summarize common mistakes I mean, common mistakes of GlideAjax slowness. One is you will have to avoid sending large data sets in one call using getXMLWait. You should avoid. No error or timeout handling also causes to slow performance. Poorly optimized server-side queries, like without setting a limit, without adding a filters. If you return an entire JSON or data, so that also leads to performance issues. Avoid this, all this, and your GlideAjax will perform smoothly. Okay, so optimize timeouts, reduce response data, use asynchronous calls, optimize script include logic, use scratchpad whenever possible, add proper error handling. Okay. If you found this video useful, like the video, comment if you want real-time ServiceNow interview questions. Thank you. See you in the next video.